Hi there. Welcome back to episode 13 of Meet the Dealer. Today we have the privilege to being with Philip van der Merwe from Western Province or WP Motors in the northern suburbs in Cape. We're going to have a few words with him and he's going to tell us what they do and how good they are and why they're as good as they think they are. Philip?
Hi, Lawrence. Thanks for being here. We've been around for quite a while. We obviously focus on quality. Is our main objective to achieve with the clients and with the public. We've got two dealerships. In Durban Road, Bellville. One that's focusing more on SUVs and bakkies, and then the other one obviously with a more passenger vehicle.
Okay. How did it all start? Where does WP Motors come from? Where does Philip van der Merwe come from to own this excellent company?
So my father was in the motor trade years ago, operated under the name of Auto Supreme.
That's right.
And then retired. I wanted to play rugby, but I got a couple of injuries, hip operations, etc. And then, we started up a small shop in Strand Street, which is a branch that we've still got today. But
I think we must just say that it's not Strand Street, Cape Town City. It's Strand Street in Bellville.
Yeah, in Bellville, yeah.
Voortrekker
Road,
extension of Voortrekker Road, yes.
And then we, a couple of years ago, probably 10 years ago, we moved up to Durban Road. And this is land that we owned, and we bought some more properties around it and then extended it into the Bakkie Centre. Well, that's like it's called today.
I must admit, this office building we're sitting in is actually impressive. Do you offer workshop facilities, after sales service workshop facilities?
Yeah, so we've got a in-house workshop, but that mostly focus on our own quality control, and then we've got a whole team for after sales. Obviously, if there's anything illegal or something,
okay,
then we sort it out for them.
And you provide what? Finance? What else?
Yeah, we've got finance. Obviously, we sell warranties, insurance. We've got contacts for, so we do everything from A to Z, and same day delivery. It's all a quick process.
Okay, and any other services that you think is better than anybody else's?
We basically so I think turnaround time. So with regards to application to delivery, is very quick. And then even if you're in Joburg or whatever, if you sign by 2:00 today, I'll have the vehicle there tomorrow afternoon latest.
Wow, that's impressive.
And our vehicles are on the floor, roadworthy and ready to go, unlike a lot of other guys that do that.
That's impressive because it takes me a week to get a car to Johannesburg.
Yeah, so we've got a team of drivers that just drive up and down through the country.
Oh yeah, you do drive it.
We drive it for time. Yeah, it's a bit obviously with the cars you sell, it's a bit of a different setup.
No, understand. Funny, I had a car delivered to me once, also done like that. And then so why Bellville? Do you live here? Do you come from here?
Yeah, so I've stayed in Durbanville all my life. Was in Stellenbosch High School. And my kids are in Durbanville at the moment. So, this is the area that I've operated in all my life and that I...
And what sort of stock do you carry between the two branches?
The price-wise?
No.
Type of stock.
Well, type of stock, number one. Number two, how many... What is the choice?
So we've got about 150 cars. So Polos, Urban Cruisers, Quests, that kind of stuff. And then we obviously also do the Fortuners, and the Hiluxes, Rangers. We do a lot of the general stuff that's popular, and then we obviously also got our used side with the Chinese vehicles that we do have, Cherries, Evals, GWM, and that kind of stuff.
Your opinion of those?
Those brands that have been around for longer, I think they're good. I think they're here to stay. Obviously, some of the newer brands, we'll see what happens there in the long run.
I think we'll get to that now. Talking about newer brands, they're coming in, the Chinese brands, majority of them are electric, or electric hybrid. What's your thought on that and where we're going with that?
Yeah, I'm not sure if we're quite ready for the electric stuff, and I think, I don't know if we're going to be ready. I think petrol's still going to stay around for a while, in our economy and our country especially.
Yes, fossil fuel is here to stay, I think.
Yeah, definitely for the foreseeable future.
Yes, a friend of mine said once, the day they replace the oil wells with trees, until then, he drives the fuel. So, why do you see the future in this? Now, you've got big players in this market. especially in the northern suburbs, which is like the motor car activity of the Western Cape, basically.
Yeah.
And we go down Voortrekker Road. You come up this road. I mean, just look across the road from us. You've got a huge competitor. It's got branches. You're also competing against those big oaks that buy now, we'll buy it now, we'll pay you now. How do you, does that affect you, especially those big people?
Yeah, I think, look, with regards to buying stock, they obviously, the big guys obviously have the advantage there, because they're obviously buying some of the best stock. And the problem is that stock sits in between a lot of bad stock. So it sometimes just gets stuck there almost with no buyers from the public. On a retail point, from a retail point of view, which is the other side of the business, obviously, I think we're with quality and after sales and that kind of stuff, you can kind of even that out. The playing field will have an advantage over them on many of the competitors in that sense. But the buying is obviously where things start, and it's obviously where some certain oaks have got an advantage over the other dealers.
Exactly. At the end of the day, it's all about the cash. So my question is now, you've been around since 2001.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
That's quite impressive. Yeah. And how do you see your business growing in this economic situation or that we're experiencing in this country at the moment?
Yeah, I think with regards to used cars, I think the important thing is just to watch obviously what the Chinese vehicles are doing. There's obviously a big competitor to the cars between 300 and 600,000. Are you buying Chinese or are you buying established brand? And yeah, I think one there is to just be careful. I think with the Chinese cars, because we've all become accustomed to them and become kind of acceptant of them, or we accept them as they're okay. I think that we just watch out for the newer brands. That we don't necessarily see the newer brands as also being okay with regards to quality.
Yeah, there's also the newer brands seem to be a lot of newer brands. There's a lot of electrification.
Yeah.
And you said earlier, I don't think we're closely ready. This country's not ready for it. And there's no incentive to buy an electric car from governments like in other countries. Europe. I mean, in Europe, there's the incentive to buy a green car.
Yeah, there isn't.
Electric car. The same in Canada. It's the same thing. I know because I go there regularly. Same in the States. There's an incentive for you.
Yeah.
Called the Greenies incentive. But here, this is not going to happen. So, yeah, you're right. I don't see it's going any further than.
I also think the thing is, if you look at price point of the electric cars, I just think that like our country's economy and our buying power, the guys just aren't willing to fork out, even if you say, but they're going to save it on fuel and maintenance, etc. They're just not willing to fork out that the extra amount initially or on the installments.
Yes, I think if you amortize back, then you have to save a lot of fuel.
Yeah.
For the price difference.
For
the same type of car.
Yeah, and then also just longevity. So how long is the car going to last, and those kind of things.
So if I come to you, or and I have an electric Kadiji, and I want to trade it in, what's your view?
So we'll trade anything in, but obviously that's not something that we'll keep. So probably won't pay you the best price for it. It will be something that will be need to be moved on. So we get a cover on it.
Yes. Oh, so there's no chance of me bringing my.
I wouldn't want to keep
my
it,
little Tesla in here.
No, I wouldn't want to keep an electric vehicle. I don't know enough about it to keep it.
So, are you planning on opening some more branches, or?
So I think at this stage, I'll stick to what I've got right now. But I am looking at a large facility that I'd want to build on the N1, obviously close to this area. So there is some options, but I mean that's a long-term goal, probably for the next 5 years. That I'd want to have a large facility because everything's
under one roof, sort of thing.
Yeah, because everything's online. I want to kind of got an idea that I want to do a big building with 200 or 300 cars under one roof. And then still maintain the quality that we're currently doing, to kind of get back the feel of a walk-in client instead of just a online client.
What is your ratios between walking sales and online sales at this point?
Probably 70-30.
That's actually quite good.
So the walk-ins are still okay. I think it's because we're in a good area.
Yes.
But your online is obviously
And
become
also in a high profile area, not only for people, but also traffic and
it's a lot of
and
traffic down
exposure.
there.
Well, so we're speaking to Philip van der Merwe from WP Motors. How would you say, Western Province Motors or WP Motors?
We usually say WP Motors.
WP Motors down in Cape Town on Durban Road. At the bottom here, somewhere, Jeremy will put the website for us, contact numbers, and go online, have a look and see what they've got. I walked through their yard, some really high-class quality stock. And, it looks like they've been around for 26 years, 20 plus years. I mean, it's as longer than I've been alive, So follow them and support them with all the other dealers. Philip, there's something you want to say that makes you better than anybody?
Yeah, guys, our service, our quality, after sales, all of that is next level, and we'll really give you guys the deal you guys deserve. So click on the website and give us a buzz.
And you can see this is a good oak to buy from. Wear shorts and a t-shirt. No put on fake stuff. Keep it real. I'll be talking to you chaps soon. Enjoy this episode when Jeremy is done. We thank Jeremy for putting all this together yet again in this heat. And we'll speak to you soon. Drive safely.